Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you everyone for joining. So let me just say quick prayers and we'll get started. Om Agyan Timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadkamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Satam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Devi Pranamami Hari Priye वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य ईश्वरम् हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 रामा राम रामा हरे हरे. So we are reading Bhagavad Gita 18.72. Let's recite this verse. Kachid etat shrutam partha Kachid etat shrutam partha Tvaya ekagrena chetasa ekagrena chetasa Kachid ajnana sammoha Kachid ajnana sammoha Pranashtaste dhananjaya Pranashtaste dhananjaya. Anyone wants to read the translation? Okay, let's keep going so that. O son of Pritha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with an attentive mind? And are your ignorance and illusion now dispelled? Okay. Anyone else wants to read this or recite this verse and read this translation? I'm not getting much response from anyone today. It's a small group, so we can engage nicely actually. In a big group, it's hard to engage.
Yes, Mataji, I can read.
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
The 18.73, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Arjun Uvacha.
No, 18.72. You
Oh,
want to read the
sorry. Okay,
translation?
we're doing again. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
translation. Okay, I'm sorry. Um, the Lord was acting as a spiritual
No, Mataji,
master of.
this one. It's on the screen. I'm sharing the screen, right? Yeah.
Okay, I was reading from my own Bhagavad Gita.
Okay. 72.
Okay. O son of Pritha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with an attentive mind? And are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled?
Hari Bol.
Purport. Haripur.
Let's discuss this, Mataji. So, this verse, Krishna is now asking. So, if you remember till last verse, Krishna told Arjuna the benefits of hearing this knowledge and people that teach this knowledge to others, right? Of studying Bhagavad Gita. What is the benefit, right? That you worship me by your intelligence. You will worship me with. आप मुझे बुद्धि योगा से, बुद्धि से अपनी मेरी भक्ति करोगे if you're reading Bhagavad Gita. And you have to, how do you hear this knowledge? You should hear with faith and without envy. मतलब with श्रद्धा और बिना किसी द्वेष के. You should read Bhagavad Gita like in that mood. कोई द्वेष नहीं होना चाहिए और श्रद्धा होनी चाहिए. Then you will be freed from sinful reactions even by just reading Bhagavad Gita. So after reciting this whole knowledge and the benefits of reading this knowledge, now Krishna is asking, this is the last verse now Krishna is speaking, okay? He's saying, O son of Pritha, O conqueror of wealth, Dhananjaya means conqueror of wealth. Have you heard this with attentive mind? Attentive mind, देखो, ekagrena chetasa. Chetasa matlab mind या consciousness, and ekagrena mean ekagrita se, like with attention, with attentive mind. Have you heard this knowledge? So he's basically telling us that when we are hearing or reading Bhagavad Gita, we should do it with attention, with attentiveness. Because only then your ignorance and illusion will be dispelled. So he says, and are your ignorance and illusion? Ignorance matlab agyan, and illusion meaning sammoha. So the moh of this world is called illusion. So the sammoha, when we get deluded or illuded by this world, that is called sammoha. So that sammoha, is that gone? And is your agyan, the ignorance, gone? And it will only be gone if you have heard this with attentive mind, with ekagrena chetasa. So basically, it is also an instruction for us that when we hear Bhagavad Gita, we should hear with this type of mood of attention and focus. Okay. But look at Krishna. He's such a perfect teacher that he is asking the student that just like sometimes I just keep going. I don't even know if people are hearing or not, if people are listening or not. But Krishna is asking, have you heard this with attentive mind or not? So he wants to make sure that this important knowledge, the student really heard it properly. And he's giving us the goal of Bhagavad Gita. Like somebody may read the whole Bhagavad Gita, some may even memorize the whole Bhagavad Gita. Yet, if your ignorance and illusion is not gone, agar aapka gyan or sammohan, the attachment for this world, the illusion of this world, the agyan, the andhakar is not gone, then what is the point of reading Bhagavad Gita? So you have to read, the goal of Bhagavad Gita is that your ignorance and illusion is gone. So any of you, okay, do this introspection, do this activity, that after reading Bhagavad Gita, after attending Bhagavad Gita classes, or after studying it on my own, is my ignorance going away? Is my illusion going away? Is my attachment to this world going away? Am I getting more detached? Is my attachment to Krishna developing? Am I developing more devotional qualities? Am I developing more Vaishnav qualities that Krishna wants? So basically, you ask, is this transformation happening in my heart or not? If the transformation is not happening, that means you did not read Bhagavad Gita properly. Because the result of this nectar is that it should satisfy you. And satisfaction of you or of self means that you should develop these this detachment, this transformation, this attachment to Krishna. If these things, अगर ये सब चीजें हो रही हैं, मतलब आपने भगवत गीता अच्छे से सुनी है. ठीक है? So this is the attitude of hearer and attitude of speaker. Hearer is making sure that they're hearing with focus and attention, and speaker is also making sure that the hearer is perfect in their attention. Because this is not an ordinary book, right? The more attention you pay to it, the more it will manifest in your heart. And then the more you try to apply it, the more you make an effort to apply it, the more you will see transformation happening in your life. So this is the expectation after reading Bhagavad Gita. This is the desired result after hearing Bhagavad Gita. ठीक है? तो भगवत गीता पढ़ने का मतलब ये नहीं है कि मुझे सारे श्लोक याद हो जाएं, वो मैंने भगवत गीता पढ़ ली, या मैं लोगों से डिबेट कर पाऊंगा, या मुझे मेरी वोकैबुलरी इंप्रूव हो गई, या मुझे पंडित बोला जाएगा, मुझे ब्राह्मण की उपाधि दी जाएगी. दैट्स नॉट द गोल ऑफ रीडिंग भगवत गीता. द गोल ऑफ भगवत गीता इज कि मुझे भगवान के पास वापस जाने का मन करेगा. आई हैव डिजायर नाउ टू गो बैक टू गॉड हेड. आई अंडरस्टैंड नाउ दैट कृष्णा इज सुप्रीम पर्सनैलिटी ऑफ गॉड हेड. लोगों को यही नहीं पता, भगवत गीता पढ़ लेते हैं पर ये नहीं पता कि भगवान कौन है. फिर क्या भगवत गीता पढ़ी? भगवद गीता मीन्स द सॉन्ग संग बाय द लॉर्ड, बाय भगवान. भग का मतलब है भगवान, वद मतलब स्पोकन, एंड गीत मीन्स सॉन्ग, द सॉन्ग दैट वाज संग बाय द भगवान. तो भगवान कौन है ये तो मिनिमम पता चलना चाहिए ना. So after reading Bhagavad Gita, people don't even understand that Krishna is Bhagwan or Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then what is the point? So, and then your material desires should go down. Your material attachments should go down. You should have a desire to advance in devotional service. कि मेरी भक्ति बढ़े, मेरा हरि नाम के लिए और spiritual activities के लिए attraction बढ़े. And you will start doing some tangible services actually. You will start engaging in a tangible process. जैसे कि आप लोग भगवान का नाम ले रहे हैं, आप लोग प्रोग्राम्स कर रहे हैं, प्रसाद बना के खा रहे हैं, बच्चों को सिखा रहे हैं. So some tangible process will start. Okay. So that is the goal of Bhagavad Gita. Let me ask you a question. Some of you may know the answer. There is a personality in Bhagavatam, we just discussed this a few days back, who is described as, जिनका दूसरा नाम है Ugra Shrava. Who is that person? निर्भय प्रभु knows, but anybody else knows? एक व्यक्ति हैं श्रीमद् भागवतम में जिनका नाम है उग्र श्रवा। उग्र श्रवा का मतलब होता है somebody who is very aggressively, very attentively, very actively hearing भगवद गीता। उग्र तरीके से जो श्रवण कर रहा है, मतलब बहुत ज्यादा फोकस से, intensely somebody who is hearing is called उग्र श्रवा। Who is that person? श्रीमद् भागवतम, जिसने बहुत ध्यान से कुछ सुना है। Can
माता जी,
anybody take a guess? Yes.
परीक्षित जी महाराज।
परीक्षित महाराज ने भी बहुत अच्छे से सुना, यस, लेकिन उनका नाम नहीं बोलते उग्र श्रवा। बट या परीक्षित महाराज जैसे सुन रहे थे, दैट इज द मूड इन विच वी शुड हियर, जैसे ही वाज हियरिंग भागवतम। परीक्षित महाराज वाज हियरिंग भागवतम इन सच अ वे दैट व्हेन पूतना की स्टोरी आई ना, एंड ही वाज टोल्ड कि ओ पूतना ने पकड़ लिया कृष्णा को, तो परीक्षित महाराज वाज शेकिंग विद फियर कि वो नो अब क्या होगा, कृष्णा को तो वो मार देगी। Even though he knows that Krishna is Bhagwan, and even though he knows that Krishna did not perish from Putna, so he cannot perish. तब भी वो ऐसे कांप रहे थे because he was so engrossed in the Shravanam, so deeply immersed in the Shravanam. पर
Is it
और
Suta
वो
Putra?
भी है।
Is it Suta Putra?
हाँ, it is सूत गोस्वामी। सूत गोस्वामी, so सूत गोस्वामी ने सेजेस ऑफ नैमिषारण्य को भागवतम सुनाई है, राइट? है ना, भागवतम ऐसे ही शुरू होती है ना, तो, जो सेजेस ऑफ नैमिषारण्य है वो नैमिषारण्य में यज्ञ कर रहे थे, एंड सूत गोस्वामी वाज क्रॉसिंग दैट फॉरेस्ट वेयर दे वर डूइंग द यज्ञ। सो उन्होंने उनको घेर लिया सारे सेजेस ने कि आप तो भागवतम सुन के आए हो, सुखदेव गोस्वामी ने परीक्षित को भागवतम सुनाई और आप वो भागवतम सुन के आए हो, तो हमें भी सुनाओ, हमें भी सुननी है, हमने नहीं सुनी। तो क्योंकि सूत गोस्वामी ने इतनी अग्रेसिवली, इतनी इंटेंसली सुनी थी इन दैट सभा वेयर सुखदेव गोस्वामी वाज स्पीकिंग भागवतम टू परीक्षित महाराज, सूत गोस्वामी वाज लिसनिंग वेरी इंटेंटली। So people in those time used to be Shrutidhar. Then whatever they heard, they could memorize. So he not only memorized but completely internalized Bhagavatam. So he was able to convey it exactly to the sages of Naimisharanya. तो उनका ये नाम आता है, जो बिल्कुल रैप्ट अटेंशन से सुनता है व्यक्ति कुछ स्पिरिचुअल डिस्कोर्स को, उसको बोलते हैं सूत गोस्वामी का जो नाम है उग्र श्रवा। तो ऐसे लोगों को उग्र श्रवा बोलते हैं। So that should be what we should aim to do. And then the ignorance and illusion will dispel. So this verse is telling us how we should hear Bhagavad Gita, and when we hear it in that way, then our ignorance and illusion will be dispelled. And this is the goal of hearing Bhagavad Gita, कि हमारी सारी जो अनर्थास हैं, जो bad qualities हैं, जो अज्ञान है, जो attachments to this world हैं, that so many material desires to enjoy this world, the bhog pravritti that we have will start going down. So if you can see those things happening in your personality, in your character, in your attributes, then you can be sure that you have heard it very properly. Okay, let's read. Is anybody wants to share anything from this verse, and should we go to the next one? Now this is a very important verse, so we have to spend some time on this one. And this is a memory verse, so let's read this one. We can read this 2-3 times. So now Krishna has stopped speaking, and Arjun is going to say something very, very important. What does he say? Let's hear. Bhagavad Gita 18.73. Arjuna Vacha. Arjuna Vacha. Please recite. Nashta Moha Smritir Labdha. Nashta Moha Smritir
Nastamoha
Labdha.
Smritirlabdha.
Tvat Prasadan Mai Achyuta. Tvat Prasadan Mai Achyuta.
Achyuta.
Sthito Asmi Gata Sandeha. Sthito Asmi
To
Gata
asami gata
Sandeha.
sandeha.
करिष्ये वचनं तव, करिष्ये वचनं तव.
Nam tava.
Who else wants to recite? And we'll recite after you. Let's
Can
try
I
to
go,
memorize.
Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Arjuna Vacha.
Arjuna Vacha.
Nasto moha smritirlabdha.
Nashta moha smritirlabdha.
Tvat prasadan maya achyute.
Tvat prasadan mai achyuta.
Chitto asmi gata sandeha.
Sthito asmi gata sandeha.
Karishe vachanam tava.
Karishe vachanam tava. Anyone else?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, ma'am.
Arjunovacha
Arjunovacha
Arjuna
Nashto mohaitmatilabdha
Nasto
Nashtamoha
mohasmatirlabdha
Tvatprasadanmaya achyuta
Tvatprasadanmaya
Tvatprasadanmaya
achyuta
achyuta
Isthitoasmi gatsandeha
Sthito asmi
Ito
gata
asami gata
sandeha
sandeha
Vachanam tava.
Karishye
Karishye
vachanam
vachanam
tava.
tava.
Anyone else wants to recite? It's a very important verse. Krishna asked a question to Arjuna and Arjuna is replying. अभी तक अर्जुन क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे थे अब कृष्णा ने क्वेश्चन पूछा है for the first time. Okay, so nobody is reciting. Let's go to the translation. Who wants to read this?
I can read, Mataji.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Arjuna said, My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt, and am prepared to act according to your instructions. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So very important verse. So look at word by word if we see. Nasht moha. So Krishna asked him, is your moha or your illusion gone? So he said, yes, Nasht moha. My illusion is gone. Smritir labdha. I have regained my memory. I know, like memory means the correct intelligence. I now know what to do. So I've regained my memory and my illusion is gone. Twat prasadan. And why did that happen? That happened by your prasad. Prasad means mercy. That happened by your mercy. Achyuta. Achyuta is oh infallible one. Infallible means somebody. So Achyuta is one of the names of Krishna. Achyuta is somebody who does not fall down. So everybody else in this material world can fall down, but Krishna can never fall down. He's Achyuta. He's infallible. Everybody else can make mistakes, but Krishna cannot make mistakes because he's Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he's beyond mistakes. We can make mistakes. That's why it's said to err is human, but to forgive is divine, to err is human. So it is not a quality of a supreme to make mistakes. So that's why he's called infallible. So Arjuna made a mistake. He fell down. He was bewildered. He was confused. His memory was and intelligence was covered. He was in delusion. He was flabbergasted and bewildered, but not Krishna. So he said, by an infallible one's mercy, by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, I have regained my memory and my illusion is gone. Sthito asmi gata sandeha, that I'm situated in, I'm free from doubt. I'm situated in a very firm position now. Like I'm very firm in my convictions now. I'm free from any doubt. मुझे अब कोई संदेह नहीं है. स्थितो अस्मि गता संदेह. कोई संदेह, अब कोई doubt नहीं बचा. Because you've cleared all my doubts. Karishye vachanam tava. Now I'm completely prepared to act according to your instructions. Vachanam means your vachan, your instruction. Whatever you have told me to do, I will do that exactly. So this is his answer, that I'm ready to fight. My delusion is gone, my memory is regained, and by your mercy, I have become free from all doubt, and I will do as you tell me. So to understand this verse, I want you to see a couple things. First of all, then we'll go into more detail. So first thing is, this is our situation, that we have lost our memory and we have become deluded by the attractions of this world, right? We are so absorbed in this world. We are so consumed by our various material desires that we have forgotten our true purpose. We have forgotten our dharma. Dharma means true purpose. So we've forgotten our dharma, our intelligence and memory has become covered and we have become confused. That's why we forget our relationship with Krishna. We forget our duty is to serve him. We forget that we are a servant to the Supreme Lord. We forget our original nature. We forget our original home. हम कहाँ से आए हैं वो भूल गए. हम भगवान भगवान से हमारा क्या रिलेशनशिप था वो भूल गए. भगवान के प्रति हमारा क्या ड्यूटी बनती थी, क्या क्या सर्विस बनती थी, अपनी सर्विसेज भूल गए. कहाँ वापस जाना है, अपना घर का पता तक भूल गए. So it's like somebody leaves their house for a vacation, है ना? They start living in a hotel and they start thinking that hotel is their home. वहां जाके बस घूम फिर रहे हैं बीच पे और खेल रहे हैं, कूद रहे हैं, बस ये सब ऐशो आराम मस्ती भोग प्रवृत्ति इसमें ही लगे हुए हैं. And we forgot our home. We had some duties, we had some responsibility. A loved one is waiting for us back home. but we forgot about them completely. We got so engrossed in this vacation, and we started thinking this hotel is our home. But the problem is the hotel is going to kick us out one day. बहुत हो गया. This is not your permanent home. They're going to have us evacuate. So हम लोग यहाँ पर इसी तरीके से enjoy कर रहे हैं, but someday the notice will come to evacuate the building because you do not belong here. This is not your home. Go back home. Where did you come from? Why are you here? But we are so busy making our home here. तो हमने hotel room में ही अपना घर बना लिया, and we forgot that there is loved one waiting back home. So this is how our intelligence and memory is completely covered, and we are just so consumed. Just Arjun in the beginning was so completely engrossed कि ये मेरे रिश्तेदार ये मर जाएंगे, not thinking that they are so violent and aggressive, and they're going to perform all these. They're not good for the kingdom. They need to be destroyed for their own good, actually. So he was ready to give up the path of dharma. He was ready to forgive his own purpose as a Kshatriya because he was so consumed by the temporary relationships of this world. So in this way, we also forget, our eternal relationship and become very absorbed in material world and forget the dharma. So if Arjuna had ran away, if Krishna had not stopped him, if he had ran away, he would have committed a very sinful act. Actually, he would have committed a dharma. That would have been a very. इसलिए कृष्णा ने बोला था कि अगर यहाँ से चले गए, भाग गए, तो फिर you will regret this all your life, and you will not be able to elevate yourself. People will actually condemn you, insult you, degrade you all your life, and this will be a dharma to run away from this fight. So let me show you now a couple things. So now he's able to make the right decision. He said, now I have come to my senses and I'm making the right decision. So this brings us to the 3 steps which are needed to make the right decision in our life. So in our life, we are faced with very difficult choices, just like Arjun was faced with a very difficult choice. And now his delusion is gone, his confusion is gone. He's without any doubt, he's ready to do what Krishna is saying. How can we do this in our life where we know for sure this is my dharma, this is my purpose, this is the right choice? I'm confused right now between these 2 things, but this is the right decision to make. How can we do that? So there are 3 steps to that, and I want to show you those 3 steps. And these 3 verses are spoken by Arjuna. And these are the 3, since Arjuna represents us, we have to do these 3 things, okay? So let me show you. So this verse, the first step is this verse. This verse comes in 1st chapter, okay? What did Arjun do in 1st chapter? He said, so please listen carefully. We are taking 3 steps to making a right decision. First thing Arjun did was, he said to Krishna, Senayorubhayor madhye ratham sthapayame achyuta yavad etan niriksheham yodhu kamam avasthitan. He said to Krishna, in this also he uses the word achyuta, infallible one. He said, please draw my chariot between the 2 armies. सेनयोर उभयोर मध्य, दोनों सेनाओं के बीच में, मध्य में मेरा रथ ले जाओ, मेरा chariot ले जाओ. Right now he is instructing Krishna to do something. So that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I am going to contend in this great war. मैं देखना चाहता हूँ कि मेरी किससे मेरा युद्ध है, कौन आया है यहाँ पे लड़ने के लिए. So सेनयोर उभयोर मध्य, दोनों सेनाओं के बीच में जाके मेरा रथ स्थापित करो. रथम स्थापया में अच्युता, मेरा रथ ले जाओ. Okay, this is the first step. So what is the first step? First step is introspection. What is Arjun doing here? Arjun is evaluating the situation. He is trying to understand what am I doing and why am I doing it. Okay, he wants to evaluate. ये मेरे सामने खड़े हैं लोग, ये लोग हैं जो मेरे enemy की तरह खड़े हैं, ये हैं जो मेरे मित्र की तरह खड़े हैं, और मुझे क्या करना है. So he's looking at his surroundings and trying to introspect. Okay, he's trying to understand what to do. So this is the first thing we have to do whenever we are confronted with a situation where we have to make a tough decision. First of all, introspect. What is the right thing? What am I confronted with? Pros and cons. You know, some people make pros and cons list. कि किस में कितना भला होगा? What is the risk and benefit? जैसे हम लोग सर्जरी करते हैं, we always look at risk and benefits. है ना? कितना risk है, कितना benefit है. If only benefit overcomes the risk, then only surgery is undertaken, right? In this case also, he's trying to introspect and evaluate. Okay. Then when he saw this situation that in the front of me, I'm confronted with my grandparents and my teachers and my relatives and so many distant relatives and friends, and some of these people have raised me, brought me up, and they have given me good values, they have nurtured me, I've shared some relationships with them in the past. Then he became very weak kneed. His knees became weak, he started trembling, he started shaking, he started sweating, his Gandiv started falling down from his hand. I think you remember that aspect of Bhagavad Gita, where his Gandiv starts falling down, he's profusely shaking and sweating. ठीक है, this happened with introspection, क्योंकि अभी वो क्या सोच रहा है, he's in a material mentality, so he is thinking that risks are more than the benefits. जैसे कोई पेशेंट सर्जरी के लिए आए और वो सोचे कि ओ नो बहुत पेन होगा, बहुत दर्द होगा, बहुत सारी कड़वी दवाई खानी पड़ेगी, बहुत सारा ड्रेसिंग चेंज होगा, you know, so he's completely overwhelmed by this temporary loss that he's going to suffer. Okay, this is a material mindset where he's looking only at the short term losses. He's not thinking of the long term gains. He's not thinking of the true long term purpose. He's thinking of short term losses. Okay, so this is a very material mentality. This is not spiritual vision. So then what he did? Okay, now so I'm taking an analogy here and I'm taking 3 verses. I hope you are able to follow. I'm taking an example of a patient and a surgeon, and I'm taking an example of 3 verses, okay, to make a right decision. तो अभी अर्जुन इज कंप्लीटली इज इंट्रोस्पेक्टिंग द सिचुएशन, मैं ये सब क्यों कर रहा हूँ, मेरे सामने कौन है, मेरे पीछे कौन है, क्या फायदा होगा, क्या नुकसान होगा, रिस्क एंड बेनिफिट देख रहा है. फिर वो बिविल्डर हो गया, कंफ्यूज हो गया कंप्लीटली. ओके, देन ही डिड दिस. व्हाट डिड ही डू? He asked a person who was his spiritual guide, spiritual friend, who he knew knows the dharma, who knows the right and wrong, जिसको सही गलत पता है, जो मेरा वेलविशर है, who will never guide me wrong. Plus, not only he's a friend, but he's a spiritual friend. ठीक है? So he took his guidance. What did he say? He said, कार्पण्य दोषोपाहता स्वभावा पृच्छामि त्वां धर्म सम्मूढचेता यच्छ्रेयश्चयन्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यास्तेहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्. He said that मुझ पे ये क्या दोष आ गया है? I was so decided about this war. I knew that we have to fight this war, but now I'm forgetting why were we fighting this war again? मुझ पे ये miserly weakness, ये weakness कहाँ से आ गई है? How are my knees shaking? How is my Gandiva falling? मेरे पे ये दोष कैसा आ गया है? कार्पण्य दोषो, मेरे स्वभाव में ये दोष कैसा आ गया है? भगवान को बोल रहा है वो. पृच्छामि त्वाम धर्मा, मैं भूल गया हूँ मेरा धर्म क्या था. What is my duty? I've forgotten. What should I do? Sammood cheta, my consciousness, my heart, my mind is completely confused and bewildered. I've lost all sense of purpose. I don't know why I'm doing this. So right now he's just seeing all the problems, all the difficulties, all the risks, all the short-term losses that he will be confronted with after the war. That's all he's looking at. Okay, very short-term vision. So he said, please tell me what is my, now look at this word. He says, what is my Shreya? What is best? Shreyas एक Vedic term है, एक Sanskrit term है जो Vedas में काफी use होती है. Shreyas and Preyas. Shreyas is what is good for us in long run, and Preyas is what is good for what we do, you know, is good for us temporarily. So Shreyas is given preference over Preyas. तो जो लॉन्ग टर्म गेन्स होते हैं, लॉन्ग टर्म गुड वाली एक्टिविटीज होती हैं, दे आर ऑलवेज गिवन प्रेफरेंस. दैट्स कॉल्ड श्रेयस. सो ही सेड आई हैव फॉरगॉटन माय श्रेयस, कि मेरा लॉन्ग टर्म गेन क्या था इससे, मुझे वो धर्म भूल गया है. तो प्लीज टेल मी, ब्रूहि तन्मे, ब्रूहि मींस प्लीज टेल मी व्हाट इज माय धर्मा, व्हाट इज माय श्रेयस. शिष्यास्ते हम, आई एम योर शिष्य. साधि माम त्वाम प्रपन्नम, I take your shelter. I'm completely a soul surrendered unto you. Please tell me what is my dharma. I've forgotten it. What is good for me in long run? क्योंकि मुझे तो अभी सिर्फ शॉर्ट टर्म चीजें ही दिखाई दे रही हैं, शॉर्ट टर्म लॉसेस ही दिखाई दे रहे हैं, टेम्परेली जो मुझे प्रॉब्लम्स होने वाली हैं वही दिखाई दे रही है. सो इट्स लाइक अ patient telling the surgeon, I can only see that there will be pain, there will be difficulty, I will be bed bound for so many days, I won't be able to go to work, I won't be able to enjoy, I won't be able to eat all the good food, I'll have to be on this diet, I won't be able to walk, I'll have to take these medicines. So please help me, show me, why was I doing this again? What is the benefit of this again? I can only see the problems. So he's completely consumed by this material mentality, जिसमें सिर्फ problems, जिसमें सिर्फ short term difficulties and short term gains ही दिखाई देते हैं बस. So but what did he do? He did a very wise thing. He accepted Krishna, a spiritual friend, a spiritually elevated, a very advanced person, not only elevated, advanced person, but Supreme Lord himself to guide him. So this is what we need to do. We need to ask help from a spiritual friend. इसलिए हमें बोलते हैं कि गुरु साधु शास्त्र की guidance लेनी चाहिए. We should always have a spiritualist in our life who will guide us. तो इसलिए हमेशा कुछ ऐसे advanced devotees या guru, if your guru is available easily, if accessible to you, then you should ask them, surrender unto them and ask them, what is my duty? I've forgotten. What should I do in this situation? So always take guidance. जो भी हमारे life के decisions होते हैं, उनके लिए guidance लेनी चाहिए. So that is the second thing he did. He took guidance, not just from a friend. कई बार जो हम material friends या जो अपने relatives वगैरह से guidance लेते हैं, that may not be the best because they are not spiritualists themselves. So they also have a very rose tinted glasses on there. You know, they can't see things clearly either. So somebody who's blind himself cannot guide you. So you need somebody who has a spiritual vision to guide you. अंधा अंधे को लीड नहीं कर सकता, इसलिए you need to have spiritual vision. इसलिए ऐसे व्यक्ति के पास जाना चाहिए जो आपका मटेरियल, जो आपका वेलविशर भी हो, फ्रेंड भी हो, जिसके साथ आपका रिलेशनशिप है, जैसे कृष्णा का अर्जुन के साथ सखा का रिलेशनशिप है, प्लस जो एक जिसको पता है कि धर्म क्या है. So that is what he did. And then Krishna said, the whole Bhagavad Gita showed him the path of dharma. Why were you doing it? How is this good for you in long run? How if you don't do this, this will bring you only infamy and you will be condemned for all the lives. If you did not fight in this war, you will be acting from the platform of adharma. So Krishna showed him that over and over again through the whole Bhagavad Gita. He gave him not only the knowledge of this particular situation, but the whole vast knowledge, the whole summary, the conclusion of Vedas he gave him. And after understanding this knowledge, what did Arjun say? That is our verse of the day, where he says, I have understood this knowledge perfectly. I have completely understood this knowledge, and I'm going to act as per your guidance. So then when some senior or some guru or some scriptures guide us on what to do, then we should accept that guidance, and then we will be able to make the right decision. So and Krishna gave him a choice. It's not like Krishna is saying कि मैं master हूँ, तुम servant हो, तो जो मैं कह रहा हूँ वो ही करना पड़ेगा as such. नहीं, he gave him a choice. He said you have a free will. जो तुम्हारा मन करता है, अभी हमने, if you remember few verses back we read, Krishna said to Arjun that जो तुम्हारा मन, मैंने तुम्हें सब बता दिया, अब जो तुम्हारा मन करता है वो करो. That is what typically a friend or a guide will do, right? कि मैंने तुम्हें सारी guidance दे दी, but I cannot force you to act. Now you do what you think is best for yourself. But a devotee, somebody who's truly surrendered soul will understand that actually this is what is best for me. What he's saying, I need to do that. So isliye without doubt, he said, I'm going to do that. So this is the three things that I wanted to share. 3 verses, 3 steps to making a right choice. We have our free will, but when Krishna gives us the instructions through Guru Sadhu Shastra, then we should accept that instruction and try to apply that in our life, and then we will be able to make the right decision. So not acting impulsively, but evaluate the situation, see what is going on around you, where are you stuck, what is the problem, what is the risk and the benefits, what is the pros and the cons of the situation, and discuss them with a spiritual guide, the pros and cons, the risk and benefits. And then when that person gives you the right guidance, because they have more knowledge, because they are seeing things from a different perspective, they are standing on a high platform, तो वो बहुत दूर का देख सकते हैं. तो इसी तरीके से वो सर्जन भी पेशेंट को बोलेगा कि देखो शॉर्ट टर्म में प्रॉब्लम होगी, नो डाउट, बट in the long run your life will be free from this disease, you will be rid of this, and put in this effort for just temporary discomfort for long term gains. Short term discomfort for long term gains is what is recommended. So follow the shreyas instead of prayas. तो सर्जन भी यही बोलेगा कि this is the benefits will be more than the risk, I promise you, because I've seen so many other people go through the same situation and they do so amazing. So you also need to follow this and you will come out the winner, but just put in this effort for now. So this is what Krishna did, took out his the disease of adharma from him so that he can act and make the right choice. But our problem is so many times we know what the right choice is. People guide us, but we just use our own intelligence, which is contaminated, and do our own thing anyways. Anyways, these were some of the points I wanted to share, the 3 steps to making the right choice, and the analogy of a patient and a surgeon. Anybody has any questions about this? Or wants to share anything that...
I have a question. I mean, I don't know if it's appropriate or not, but I was texting you. My question is, I know Arjuna asked Lord Krishna what to do when he was confused, and I know you saying that when we have questions and when we are introspecting and we don't get answers and we have questions, we have to consult a spiritual master. Of course, a lot of us in this Bhagavad Gita class, we are still new. We don't have yet spiritual masters, or you know what I mean. Who do we then, in that situation, who do we ask questions?
Mataji, whoever you think is your spiritual guide, like for us, we typically ask our seniors. So make sure you build a relationship with certain seniors who have been, inculcating this knowledge for longer than you, practicing this, and can show you the path. So that's why. So if your sadhana is sincere, if you really want answers, then Krishna will send the right people to guide you. Okay. Of course, the right people should be the spiritually oriented people. And we saw in our life that many devotees started coming to our life. That's how we found our Guru Maharaj also, through the help of certain seniors, right? So senior devotees will start coming in your life. Spiritual master will come in your life. So make those relationships with those people that will guide you, that will you have some regard for, that they will not show you the wrong path, that they mean well for you, and they will always show you the right path. So you just have to pray to Krishna to bring such people in your life who know the dharma and will also show you the dharma. Does that make sense, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Any other questions, realizations, comments, corrections? And then this point is very important that Arjun is mentioning, that whatever is happening is by Lord's mercy. He said, Tvat prasadan my achyuta, that by your mercy. So this is the point Mataji was saying, that make sure your sadhana is sincere, your prayers are intense and sincere, you're trying to follow a path. Just like, like attending these Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam classes, you're showing to the Lord that I'm making a sincere effort. So by Lord's mercy, you will attract mercy. So it's our effort plus mercy. So you have to make an effort, and then you will also get mercy. And with mercy, we can overcome doubts, we can get knowledge, we can get faith, we can overcome Maya, right? Krishna says in chapter 7, Devi Esham Gunamayi Mammaya Duratyaya Mamevye Prapadyante Maya Me Tham Tarantite. That this Maya is very strong. The influence of this material world is very strong. But whoever surrenders unto me, they can cross over this material world very easily. So whatever doubts you have, whatever problems, whatever difficulties you're facing in this life, and you're not sure about your true purpose, or not able to make right decision, whatever the situation is, if you surrender to the Lord, if you really pray and follow the path like that Prabhupada has given us, then Krishna will ensure that you will cross over this easily. And he also says that I give the intelligence, matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha, that I give the memory, the intelligence, the knowledge by which you can come to me. So when he gives instructions, the importance is to follow them. Sometimes we can't see why. So this has happened with me, and I'm sure with many other people also, that our seniors or our devotees will give some guidance, but we may still, our intelligence may pose some doubts. We do not understand the value of those instructions. But what I have seen is still follow them. Even though you do not see the value, but they have spiritual vision, they have seen this happen. It's like a patient following the advice of the doctor. ठीक है ना? So patient has free will. He can. That's why I took that analogy, because doctor cannot force him to do anything. He has the free will. but he will be well advised to take the counsel of the doctor, because doctor has done this many, many times over and seen many, many cases like this. So even though you have certain doubts, you do not understand the values, still follow them, because we lack spiritual vision. We cannot see what is good for us. हम इतना डूबे हुए हैं अंधकार में that we cannot see. We are not that close to a guru or to a Bhagwan, but they are. So those that are close to their guru, to scriptures and to Bhagwan, they will show us the light. तो ऐसे ना कि एक अंधी रोड पे आप जा रहे हो, तो आगे वाले के सर वाले पे लैंप लगा है, आगे वाले के पास लैंप है, उसको फॉलो करते जाओ, वो अपने से आगे वाले के लैंप को फॉलो कर रहा है, इस तरीके से चलते जाओ, you know. So otherwise if you think नहीं वो जो जा रहा है मैं उधर क्यों जाऊं, मैं इधर से अपना जाऊंगा, then maybe fall down in a ditch. So and I have seen this actually, practical application. We don't understand why they are saying this to do this, but when you just follow it still, you will see the fruits. You will see Krishna's mercy manifest. So we have choice. We always have a free choice. We can become a slave of Maya, or we can become servant of God. So most of us have chosen to become slave of Maya rather than becoming a servant of God. There is a difference between slave and servant. Servant अपने free choice से बनता है, और slave के पास कोई choice नहीं होती. हमारे पास कोई choice नहीं. हम सोचते हैं हम बहुत independent हैं, बहुत free हैं, लेकिन actually we are very much attached to this world and very much attached to our anarthas, bad qualities, bad desires. So we are a slave of Maya actually. But if you exercise your free will properly, you can actually become a voluntary servant of God. He's not going to force you to become a servant. Okay, shall we do one more very quickly? I think we have the next one. Let me see how big it is. Oh, this is wonderful. Let's read this. Actually, this is not very big. Are you okay, or would you like to wait till next time when more people are here? Because today, maybe because of holidays, less devotees are here. Who would like to hear this one? By raise of hand.
I would like to hear it.
Okay. Okay, Mataji. Nobody else, I'll say it for you. Very good. 18.74. Sanjay Vacha. Sanjay Vacha. Iti aham vasudevasya. Iti aham vasudevasya. Parthasya cha mahatmana. Parthasya cha mahatmana. Samvadam imam ashrosham. Samvadam imam ashrosham.
Ashrusham.
Adbhutam Romaharshanam.
Adbhutam Romaharshanam.
So Sanjay is speaking now, and from now on, Sanjay will speak and finish the Bhagavad Gita. So this is a very nice verse. Please, somebody read this. Yes, Mataji.
I can read.
Yes.
Okay. Sanjaya said, "Thus I have heard the conversation of two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna, and so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on end."
Very bold.
Hare
So
Krishna.
so remember that Arjun heard this attentively, but there were two other people hearing this, Sanjay and Dhritarashtra. So Sanjay was hearing very intensely, and of course he was given this knowledge, this drishti. He could see everything happening on the field, and he was narrating it to Dhritarashtra. So Dhritarashtra is hearing from Sanjay, and Sanjay was able to see and hear everything because of the divya drishti given by the mercy of Vyasadeva. So his guru, Sanjay's guru, is Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva gave him this drishti, divya drishti, so he can see everything and convey everything to Dhritarashtra. So Sanjay said, so what have I heard? I have heard this conversation of Vasudeva. Vasudeva is Krishna, and Partha, who is Arjun. I've heard this conversation of Vasudeva and Partha, the great souls, this samvad, this conversation, adbhutam, this wonderful conversation. And what is happening? Roma Harshanam, my hair is standing on the end. So he's also somebody who's, so this is what will happen. This is what will happen. If you have heard a spiritual discourse very attentively, with focus, internalizing it, close your eyes, meditate on it, make notes, write down. If that's how you hear, you will get this feeling, Rom Harshanam, standing, your hair standing on end. And I promise you, you don't have to hear it directly from Krishna. Even if you are hearing or reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam from any of our devotees, even if you are hearing a class online on YouTube, I promise you, Rom Harshanam will happen. This has happened to me, and I want you, I encourage you, I invite you all to have that feeling. It is a very wonderful feeling when suddenly your heart is racing, your hair is standing on end. Oh, what are they saying? I did not know this. This is wonderful. This is amazing. That I remember that feeling that I had for the first time in my life. First time when I had that feeling, and I was hooked. That day I was hooked to Bhagavad Gita. That day I was hooked to this path. And I clearly remember that situation where I was sitting, who I was hearing, what I was hearing. I clearly remember that. And I invite you all to have that feeling. Everyone should have that feeling in this human life where we feel this Rom Harshanam. You know, we get hair standing on end when we watch a movie or something. This feeling is much more deeper. This feeling is much more intense. This goes deep down. This goes where this is coming from the soul. This is not coming from your mind and intelligence and ego. This is a very deep, intense feeling where you get goosebumps. So this is what Sanjay. So just Sanjay heard it directly from Krishna. So how much he must be feeling this Rom Harshanam. And so he said, what have I heard? So imagine he has heard everything. He has heard the knowledge of Bhagavad Gyan. He knows who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He saw the Vishwaroop. He now knows what is Dharma. He has understood the sutras, the principles of life, how to conduct our life, what is the goal of life. He heard in every other verse Krishna inviting a jiva back to Godhead. Come back to me and you will never come back to this material world. He understood who we are, who the real self is. He understood how to reach him, how to reach the Lord. What is our relationship with him? He heard Lord's promises, numerous and numerous promises. He heard Krishna share his heart in Bhagavad Gita. He heard what are his energies, what are his instructions, what are his promises, what are the goal of our life. He heard everything that is there to hear in this otherwise useless, mundane human body. There is only one purpose, and that is to achieve self-realization. And he achieved self-realization all of a sudden in this 45 minutes that Bhagavad Gita was sung to Arjuna by Krishna. He saw it all, he heard it all. And so just by this, he's now like completely bodies flowing, overflowing with this wisdom, this feeling of self-realization. You know, he's completely situated in the self, and that is the glory of hearing properly with attention and with focus and with and hearing the great wisdom. When you hear the wisdom, this is what happens. When we hear the mundane gossips of this world, or news, जो भी news आती है TV पे, and when we hear all this criminal things are happening and political things, people are fighting, and those debates, oh my god, all these things contaminate you, pollute your consciousness, they degrade you, they are so contaminating for the consciousness. And when you hear something like this, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, from the mouth of devotees, from the mouth of Guru, from the mouth of Prabhupada, then oh my god, this is such a wonderful feeling. This is what Sanjay is feeling, the Rom Harshan. He's feeling the hair standing on end. And this is what each of us needs to aim for, that we will hear so intensely, so properly, so purely, and will always hear Hari Katha. Fill our ears and consciousness with so much Hari Katha that we are always situated in this feeling of spiritual bliss. This is Rom Harshan. This is spiritual bliss. This is not कि जैसे लड्डू खाने से जो bliss feel होता है, या मूवी देखने से जो आनंद आता है. This is आनंद. This is not sukha of this world. This is आनंद जो बहुत deep होता है, which is very intense, very very sincere. That's why that is why it is said that religion is the opium of masses. This is the true opium actually. You don't need to do any drugs. You don't need to do any alcohol. You don't need to smoke a cigarette. You don't need to drink any tea or coffee again. No, because this is giving you the high. This is so intoxicating. This is the elixir of eternal life. So when you consume this, the Hari Katha, then you get the spiritual bliss. Otherwise, everything else, you're destroying your body by consuming those things, and destroying your consciousness and your intelligence, and killing your brain cells with all those drugs and alcohol and coffee and tea. you can choose to do that, or you can fill your brain and body and intelligence and mind and ego with Harikatha and completely get rid of all those material coverings of gross body and subtle body, and even while situated in human body feel the spiritual bliss. इससे बढ़ के और क्या हो सकता है? So that is why when Prabhupada came to the Western world, all these people were hooked. These people were hooked to LSD. These people were hooked to cannabis and heroin and opiates and all these prescription medicines. They were hooked to those things. वो सब छोड़ के they got hooked to Hari Katha of Prabhupada. Prabhupada की Hari Katha इतनी pure होती थी, they got hooked to it. ऐसे थोड़ी ना transformation हो गया. They became hippies to happies की journey. That happened because of this Rom Harshan that they felt, this hair standing on end when they heard this Hari Katha. So when they heard Bhagavad Gita, when they heard Srimad Bhagavatam, अमोघलीला प्रभु बोलते हैं कि अर्जुन की पहले क्या हुई थी, जो हमने वो वर्ड्स पढ़ी थी जिसमें वो बिविल्डर हो गया था, कंफ्यूज हो गया था, उसकी हुई थी ऐसी की तैसी से दिस जर्नी टू एक्सटेसी. सो वी हैव टू मेक दैट जर्नी जिसमें हमारी दुनिया में ऐसी की तैसी हुई है. वी आर लाइक completely lost, and what is going on around us? There is war, and there is terrorist attack, and there is COVID, and every few days somebody is sick, and there is new illnesses, and there is accidents, and there is crime, and so much going on. But amidst that, there is the gift of Harikatha that Krishna has given. And ऐसी की तैसी से you can also reach ecstasy. So consume this elixir. This लोग immortal होना चाहते हैं. They want to consume the elixir of life, but this is the true elixir. You can actually become eternal and immortal. We are immortal, but we just don't realize that. So that is all I have to share, but I hope that everybody gets to feel this experience and clearly, distinctly remember when that happened. One day when that happens, or if it has already happened, hold on to that memory and keep hearing more and more Harikatha. Hari Bol, that's all I have to share. Hare Krishna. Any questions, corrections, realizations? If not, we'll stop for today. Nirbhay Prabhu, Mom, Rekha Mataji, Raman Prabhu, anyone wants to share? Nilveni Mataji, please share any questions, realizations, or anything.
I really loved it, today's session. I wish one day I can reach there, get goosebumps.
Mataji, keep hearing, listen to Prabhupada and listen to other wonderful devotees, and you will get there. And one day when you find your spiritual master, hear their katha.
I do listen, but it's just like, I don't know, some days it helps me, and then some days I feel I'm falling behind. So
चलते फिरते नहीं, ऐसे नहीं कि काम कर रहे हैं, ड्राइव कर रहे हैं, नहीं, बैठ के पेपर पेन लेके बैठो. We are not Shrutidhars, so we cannot remember everything. So that's why I was sharing one day that we are not Shrutidhars, we cannot remember anything. But in this modern age, we have paper and pen. Those people, Sud Goswami, did not have paper and pen. We can write down things, and you will see realizations happening. So many realizations will come. And they will give you goosebumps. It's the reciprocation that comes from Krishna that gives you the goosebumps. कि ये क्या हो रहा है? Wow, I did not know this. This is amazing. Go deep and deep, तो jewels आएंगे. Ocean के जितना deep जाएंगे, ocean में जितना deep गोते खाओगे, तो jewels आएंगे. So go deep into Harikatha. Yes, Nirbhay Prabhu, you were sharing something.
Just keep it short. That we can feel it, then we may not be able to realize it at once. And then we just have to keep praying that I want to get that feeling back, and or just pray to Krishna, like you were saying, that I may be able to get that feeling or get that understanding, or one day I may be able to understand it in that way. So that is kind of what happened with me. It was like, oh, okay, this is good, I understand it, this is nice, but in my current situation, I can't do it right now. And I just kept praying. I just kept remembering that feeling. That is my goal, that I need to get that back. So that helps.
Hare Krishna. ऐसे बोलते हैं कि जैसे जैसे रनिंग करने के बाद हाई होता है. I don't know who all are runners here, but after running you get a high. ठीक है? But to get that high you have to run. So similarly, you have to run. So you have to make that effort. You have to do some services. You have to engage in some deity worship. You have to try to eat prasadam as much as possible. You have to hear Harikatha as much as possible. You have to run. After running a certain distance, then the high will come. पर ये हाई ऐसा है जो कभी डाउन नहीं जाता. इसमें हैंगओवर नहीं होता. ये हाई हाई जाता जाता है. So this is a high that eternally keeps going higher and higher until you get out of this world. Takes you that way.
I have one analogy. I may be wrong,
Yes, ma'am.
but like so the Bhagavad Gita was heard by Arjuna and Sanjaya and Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra, even listening to the Bhagavad Gita from Sanjaya, he still did not mend his ways. So basically, we are also like Dhritarashtra because we are still not mended our ways, even though we are coming to Bhagavad Gita class right now and listening to it, but still
Yes,
we
Mataji.
are.
And very nice analogy. This is actually very commonly given. कि our position is like Dhritarashtra. हमने पिछले उसमें किया था ना class में. How are we like Dhritarashtra? Because we are so attached. तो हम अपनी attachments maintain करके रखते हैं. We keep nurturing our attachments. He kept nurturing this attachments with his sons. So we have hopes in this material world. He kept hoping. Now, even though he knows that he cannot win, his sons cannot win, even then he's hoping against hope कि somehow maybe my sons will win. लेकिन अभी आप आगे verses में पढ़ोगे, Sanjay will declare without doubt कि there is no way that Kauravas can win, because he said यत्र योगेश्वरा कृष्णा यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरा तत्र श्री विजयो भूतिर ध्रुवा नीतिर मतिर ममा. that विजय तो वहीं रहेगी जहाँ पे भगवान है और उनका डिवोटी है. तो आपके पास आपकी लाइफ में अगर भगवान नहीं है और अगर आप डिवोटी नहीं हो तो आपकी लाइफ में विजय हो ही नहीं सकती. So yeah. Okay, let's stop. Anybody who's interested in staying to chant one round, we can stay and then we'll continue next time onwards. Next time on Friday, we have Bhagavad Gita Jayanti and Ekadashi that day. So we are celebrating it in Little Rock. Please come to the temple. It's in the temple. It will be a temple program, Aarti, Kirtan, class, Prasadam, Ekadashi Prasadam. It'll be wonderful. For Memphis devotees, it's only 2 hours from you. So not a very long ride. Make that effort, make that journey, and Krishna will run many, many, many more miles for you. So आप एक कदम लोगे तो कृष्णा हजारों कदम लेते हैं. So please come to the temple, attend the class, attend the kirtan, honor the prasadam, look at the deities. Sri Radha Madhav deities are very beautiful, and please celebrate Gita Jayanti. There will be many, many books there also. So we'll do that class on Friday evening, and then Sunday we'll see if devotees are available, because it's Christmas weekend. Many devotees may not be available. If they're available, we can do Bhagavad Gita class.
And Hare Krishna, and this is an open free program, so anybody and everybody is welcome. Your friends, family, anybody who would like to join, please, they are welcome to join.
Yeah,
And,
bring as many people as you can.
It is only about an hour from Hot Springs, so if you want afterwards or around, you can. There are very nice places to look around. Little Rock, you can make it a family outing if you want. Whatever. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone. Very, very grateful to each and every one of you. Vancha kaltarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Gurve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya namo namah. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Please stay on for chanting if you wish. Hari Bol.